First contact, first mistake. They came from a void in ships the size of cities, shimmering like blades of glass against the black. The world watched in awe, then in fear, as the Zalvari fleet darkened the skies over Earth. No warning, no message, just the silent arrival of a power far beyond anything humanity had imagined. At first, we hoped. The United Nations broadcasted peaceful greetings in every known language. World leaders scrambled to meet, desperate to present a unified front. Scientists wept with joy. Humanity had finally made contact. But the Zalvari were not explorers. They were conquerors. Their first words were not spoken in peace, but in command. You are now subjects of the Zalvari dominion. Submit or be pacified. The transmission echoed across every screen on Earth. Their message was cold, emotionless, delivered in perfect English. A calculated show of power. Their understanding of us was far deeper than we realized, and we had nothing to offer that they respected. They struck within hours. Major cities were hit first. Washington, Beijing, London, and New Delhi saw their skies tear open as plasma lances rained from orbit. Communication networks collapsed. Militaries scrambled to respond, but every satellite, every missile system, gone in seconds. The Zalvari called it preliminary compliance enforcement. They didn't want our destruction. They wanted obedience. But Earth is not a world that bows easily. In the ruins of a small Colorado town, a Zalvari patrol encountered unexpected resistance. Armed with nothing but hunting rifles, Molotovs, and desperation, a group of civilians ambushed them in the night. 3 of the aliens died before the others withdrew. To us, it was a spark. To them, an insult. Overconfident, the Zalvari commander dismissed the loss. Vermin, he muttered, watching the scorched footage. They snapped their teeth in fear. Soon they will kneel. He was wrong. General Elias Mercer, former NATO commander and survivor of the London strike, stood in the flickering glow of a burning capital. He stared into the camera of a hacked satellite uplink and sent a message across the globe. This is not the end, he said. We are scattered, hurt, but not broken. We will not surrender. We will not serve. To those listening, gather your people. Find your strength. This is our planet. And this is war. It was more than defiance. It was a declaration. Across Earth, survivors began to rise. Resistance cells formed in the ruins. Scientists and soldiers pooled what scraps remained. Engineers in bunkers began analyzing downed alien tech. The Zalvari expected submission. What they got was awakening. They saw our weapons as primitive, our tactics chaotic, our unity fragile. But they made one fatal mistake. They looked at humanity's peace and mistook it for weakness. They thought we would kneel. Instead, we learned how to fight gods. Awakening the beast. The world bled, but it did not break. In the days that followed General Mercer's broadcast, chaos turned to purpose. The internet was gone, governments shattered, and cities smoldered. Yet across the globe, humans began to organize, not under flags, but under one simple idea: fight back. In the underground labs of Norway, engineers dissected the remains of a Zalvari scout drone. It was elegant, impossibly advanced, but not invincible. Within a week, they'd repurposed its plasma core to power a homemade energy rifle. It overheated after 5 shots. That was fine. 5 shots were enough to kill 5 aliens. In Mumbai, a former hacker collective took control of a local power grid, using it to fry a Zalvari command node and blind their patrol for miles. In rural America, hunters became snipers. Mechanics became tank engineers. Farmers turned tractors into armored transports. Every survivor became a soldier. The Zalvari noticed. They increased their patrols. Their tone shifted from arrogant to irritated. Earth, in their eyes, was supposed to fall in weeks. Instead, they were losing skirmishes. Not many, but enough to raise eyebrows in their war councils. Then came the siege of Sao Paulo. A major Zalvari garrison landed near the city, expecting light resistance. Instead, they found the city booby-trapped, blockaded, and crawling with fighters. The locals had turned sewer lines into smuggling tunnels, rooftops into sniper nests, and subway cars into mobile bomb units. For 11 days, they held the line. On the 12th, when the aliens finally broke through, they discovered every building rigged with explosives. The city burned, but the alien command ship that hovered above it fell with it, torn in two by a hacked nuclear warhead disguised inside a sewage pipe. The world saw. So did the aliens. Humanity was no longer just surviving. We were adapting. They called him the Butcher of New Delhi, Colonel Amir Rao. With a force of only 1,000 resistance fighters, he repelled 3 full-scale Zalvari sweeps using misdirection, drone swarms, and homemade EMP mines. The Zalvari began to fear names. Rao, Mercer, the ghosts of Sao Paulo, each one a symbol of something they couldn't control. Fear spread like cracks in their glass-armored minds. Meanwhile, Earth's orbit remained under alien control, but not unchallenged. From hidden bunkers beneath the Rocky Mountains, blueprints for space-capable interceptors were being laid. On the dark side of the moon, human technicians secretly rebuilt an old research station into a weapons platform. The world was uniting, not through politics, but through necessity. No more borders, no more nations, just one species, one cause. They thought we would scatter like insects. Instead, we became a swarm. In the war halls of the Zalvari fleet, a new phrase began circulating, whispered, not spoken. Earth fights like no world we've conquered. And we were only just getting started. Turning point, fires beyond Earth. The night sky burned like never before. Above Earth, the Zalvari flagship Vorkel drifted in low orbit, a colossal blade-shaped vessel, the nerve center of the entire invasion fleet. From it, orders were given, attacks coordinated, resistance crushed, until Operation Iron Horizon. A coalition of former Air Force pilots, scavenger engineers, and ex-NASA personnel orchestrated the impossible. Breach orbit, infiltrate the Vorkel, and bring it down. The plan was suicidal. The execution was perfect. 3 hybrid dropships, built from scrap and powered by stolen alien tech, launched from Antarctica under a cloaked aurora storm. Earth's last surviving stealth fighters provided cover, drawing fire and sacrificing themselves one by one. The ships made it through. Inside the Vorkel, human commandos moved like ghosts. They wore adaptive camo stitched from thermal insulation blankets and modified nanofibers. Every step was deliberate. Every bullet counted. At the heart of the ship, a human named Lieutenant Avasado, an ex-astrophysicist turned soldier, carried the warhead. It was primitive by alien standards. Fission-based. Loud. Crude. Exactly what they never expected. Ava smiled before detonation. For Earth, she whispered. The explosion split the Vorkel in half. Pieces rained down across the Pacific like judgment from the heavens. Humanity cheered as a god fell from the sky. It was the first time in history that Earth destroyed a capital ship of an interstellar empire. And it was only the beginning. The psychological impact on the Zalvari was seismic. Their broadcasts fell silent. Surveillance drones withdrew from key territories. Their once sure dominance trembled. They had assumed Earth was a one-front war, but now they faced a species that could reach them. Humanity went on the offensive. Moon-based recon stations, long abandoned, flared to life. Mars' old colonial outposts became forward operating bases. Orbital scrapyards became makeshift shipyards. Humanity didn't just rebuild, we reimagined war. From the asteroid belt came the Ghost Fleet, a formation of stealth warships built in total secrecy. Small, fast, and vicious, they struck a Zalvari resource depot orbiting Cross 6, deep in alien territory. Mining rigs exploded. Cryo workers scattered. Humanity had drawn blood in their own stars. Back on Earth, resistance turned into structure. Militia groups became the Terran Defense Corps. AI systems once used for stock trading were repurposed to coordinate artillery strikes. Satellites, once for GPS, now targeted orbital bombardments. The aliens no longer underestimated us. But it was already too late. Even among the Zalvari High Command, cracks formed. This world was supposed to be broken, said Admiral Zevk. But they do not yield. They hunt. Another replied, voice low with dread. They're not a species. They are the war we never prepared for. Earth's sky no longer belonged to them. And soon, neither would the stars. We showed them more. The humans came not as diplomats, but as fire. In orbit around Arkanvar, the Zalvari homeworld's fortified moon, their fleet emerged in silence, black as the void that birthed them. No grand announcement, no warning, just vengeance. The Ghost Fleet led the charge, slipping past orbital defenses and sowing chaos in the vacuum. Behind them came Earth's first true warships, ugly, angular hybrids of human steel and alien tech, bristling with railguns, plasma lances, and fury. The Zalvari scrambled. For the first time in their empire's long history, their own system was under attack. The Terran Defense Corps hit hard and fast. Arkanvar's lunar foundries were leveled in minutes. Communications were jammed by AI swarms. Targeting systems failed as human hackers unleashed quantum viruses mid-battle. And then came the drop. From the belly of the human dreadnought Titan's wake, drop pods screamed through the atmosphere, slamming into the moon's crust like meteor strikes. Thousands of human soldiers emerged, armor scorched, eyes fierce, survivors of 1,000 battles, now bringing war to the Empire's doorstep. They didn't come to negotiate. They came to finish it. Among them was Colonel Amir Rao, the butcher of New Delhi, who led the assault on the Zalvari command citadel. Around him, his men planted EMP charges and shrapnel mines. Inside, they fought room by room, never retreating, never yielding. Outside, towering alien war machines, spider-limbed titans of war, emerged to push them back. But Earth's troops weren't afraid. They had brought with them something far deadlier than firepower. They brought resolve. A team of 5 volunteers took down a 3-kilometer Zalvari juggernaut using a jury-rigged railgun and a chain of explosive barrels. They called it the David Protocol. It worked. In the final hours, the Zalvari command offered terms. We acknowledge your strength, they said. Let us discuss peace. General Mercer's reply echoed across the galaxy. You brought death to our sky. You enslaved our cities. You called us weak. We answered. He paused, his face worn, eyes cold. There will be no terms. Not from you. And with that, Earth's forces stormed the citadel and shattered it to ash. The war was over, but the message had just begun. A signal broadcast from the ruins of Arkanvar reached every corner of the galaxy. A recording of Earth's resistance, our retaliation, and our rise. A single voice, spoken by a child who survived the London attack. If you come for us again, bring gods. Because we've already killed yours. The Zalvari retreated. Their empire fractured. Other species, once silent, began to resist. Whispers spread of the death world that fought back. Of a people who turned ruin into rage, and rage into victory. We were never weak. We were patient. And when war came, we taught them what it truly meant.